Hello, people. What is good? Welcome back to KH No Filter Football. I am today's guest. Shit. I am tonight's host, Will. I've got two very special guests. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do a lot on this stream. Actually, to be fair, we're gonna start off. We're gonna talk through how we set up. Is it nice to watch? How effective is it? Our team's gonna find us out. The worries and queries about all that. We're going to go through that, and then we're going to get your guys' thoughts. We're going to let you call in. You can have your say. You can even debate us, call us out on any opinions I agree with, etc., etc. Thank you for everyone being in the chat. Links to everyone will be in the bio. All of our Twitters, Marshall's YouTube channel, our Discord. We've now got a permanent link for the Discord, so you can just go down there, and you'll be able to find us. We're on there pretty much every day. We do watch-alongs on there. We do debates on there. So please go down and join. It will be much appreciated. Already got some nice comments in. Damn, this is a comment to start with. Really, that's a bit reactionary. I can't lie. I can't lie to you.
A bit.
I get the football's the.
Is he Chelsea fan?
A bit.
Yeah, I guess the football isn't really entertaining. Well, it wasn't versus City.
It's not pretty to look at, no. But
I think it has been though. It's just
It's
like
efficient.
I enjoy
like-
it. Honest,
No,
but
like,
on
at
honest
a game-
day, I enjoy it.
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
we've got our guests here today. We've got Real Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing good, busy day, just one of those days.
Yeah,
I'm just
wanna
doing
chill
good.
on stream. Yeah, and we have got our favourite American friend. He knows how to host very well, but I want him to speak more tonight, so I'm hosting. We have Marshall.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
Oh, Marshall, I feel bad. You sound so sad right now.
No,
But
I'm just annoyed because I feel like anyone. No, I'm not trying to. I'm being open-minded about this. I want someone to convince me why 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 is the formation to go towards, and actually have a sound and solid reason as to why it'll work. And originally it was going to be Kai, and I just was not looking forward to that. But if you guys can convince me in the chat that 4-3-3 is the way to go, or 4-2-3-1 is the way to go, when we just won a championship with 3-4-3, just beat Man City in a row 3 times with 3-4-3, beat every single rival with 3-4-3. What else have we done with 3-4-3? Just won the Super Cup with 3-4-3.
Cup final.
Yeah. If you can convince me that 3-4-3 is a terrible formation and we shouldn't continue on with it, then I'm all for it. But I doubt it's going to happen. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, let's get into it first then. The pros. Let's talk about the pros first of the 3-4-3. Marshall, what do you think the pros are of the 4-3-3 in your opinion?
A 4-3-3?
3-4-3, sorry, 3-4-3.
All right, 3-4-3. Well, I think one of the biggest pros about the 3-4-3 is that we're able to fit in basically our whole squad into that formation. I can't really think of a single player other than maybe Emerson last season, or who else? I don't know. Maybe Ziyech, you can argue this season. That's not really much of an argument. I don't know. You can maybe argue Mount too. There's not many players that can't mesh and fit into the system that won't have to play out of position or in a position they don't like. So that's one positive thing about the 3-4-3, that we're able to fit in every single player in a formation they're comfortable with. The other positive thing about 3-4-3 is that it's really good defensively, like really solid defensively. When we're defending, we become like, I want to say a 7 in the back at times, where the basically it's great because we force the other team to play cross and shala. We really do. We force the other team because the middle is a middle defensive block of 5 people. The 2 double pivot and the 3 in the back. And then the wing backs usually are attacking. But if they're defending, you can also have them defend the wings and then a backup center back with still 2 center backs defending the middle. So it's very good defensively in that sense. And with Tuchel, we can see how good it is offensively as well, where with the right wing backs And I'm not saying we have the best wingbacks, because I don't think we do. I think we do need to improve on our wingback positions, especially after seeing what happened in Man City. With the proper wingbacks and with Tuchel's way of using the system, it can be really good attacking as well. Meaning, like, we can have 5 attackers at one point, with the wingbacks playing as wingers and the 3 forward with having 2 cams, because let's get it right. We play with 2 cams. We don't play with 2 wingers in a 4-3-4. We are or 3-4-3 rather.
3-4-3,
We play with 2 wingers and a striker. And it's a versatile enough formation that, like I said, it can fit all of our players. We have really great attacking mids in our team. You can name Ruben Loftus-Cheek as one of them. He can play in that position. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount can play as an attacker. Ziyech can play as an attacking mid. Timo isn't much of an attacking mid. Neither is Pulisic can play as an attacking mid too. So there's it's good. I think it's really good in attack as well. It's just, unfortunately, if you look at our XG last year, we had a great XG. We just didn't finish our fucking meals.
Can I add on to your point
3
as well
big facts.
About the 2 players that play in behind Lukaku? They're not always they don't always play the same role as well. Like when Werner plays, he's more of like a left forward, like properly playing off Lukaku. When it's Mount, he drops deeper. Havertz can sometimes drop deeper and onto the right or left. So, it's relatively fluid as well. Not as fluid as in the past I've seen at Chelsea, but I think it is a decent attack. But Chris, firstly, what's your overall thoughts of the 3-4-3 and what are the pros of it?
I think it's a terrible formation, The 4-3-3 is the way to go. We gotta scrap that formation. It's too boring. We don't get enough goals. Everything,
Big up, Jose.
The thing is, I don't mind the 3-4-3, the formation, because I've seen us in 2017. It's been a while, but that's the last formation where you won the Premier League. So I don't mind the formation. It does work for Chelsea. It's built into Chelsea's I don't want to say DNA, but it's just been built in for a few years now, and it benefits a lot of our players. Like Aspie's played it many times. Alonso, he thrives in it. That's the best time to play Alonso, because you can't play Alonso back 4 because he can never play a left back in his life, but he can play wing back. It does affect players like him and all that. And if you don't play then those players won't be able to play. And Aspie, he won't be able to play either. So, you're losing another good player there. So it's good for that. And Marshall did obviously point out many good things why it's good. And to me, people saying it's boring and we don't get enough goals. We've had the hardest run out of all the title contenders teams, and we scored 1 behind Man United, the same as Man City, who score a lot of goals apparently, and 3 behind Liverpool, who's had the easier run compared to us, and they had to play against 10-man Chelsea. So to me, we have got a lot of goals this season in a back 3, so that's no problem for me. Maybe the problem is we don't create tons of chances, but with a back 3 last season, we created a lot of chances for Timo. Mm-hmm. So we can do it. So it's not like we can't do it. You only change it when it's broken, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's always a thing with me. And the 4-3-3 is a good formation, but you don't need to go there. You just don't need to go there yet.
I think.
Can I point out?
Yeah, go on, Marshall.
Can I point out another thing or actually 2 things about 3-4-3? You just bought a 95 million euro or pound striker whose best formation you can argue is in a 3-4-3 or a 3 in the back system. Why wouldn't you want to play to his strengths? Why wouldn't you want to play to his strengths? Do you remember what Lukaku looked like under Man United? Man United, who was playing a 4-2-3
or a
4-3-3?
It went horribly. Yeah,
but it was 4-3-3, wasn't it?
Yeah. The last season. Under Jose.
Yeah, the bad season, right?
And was it Ollie? Ollie the last season, wasn't it?
No, what happened was under Jose they played was it a 4-2-3-1? They played under Jose, and then under Solskjaer he got played on the right side of the front 3.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's just you have this really good player, and mind you, not even just him, Havertz. You have these 2 great players in the team that you bought for a lot of money, and you're Tuchel, and you're being told, listen, we want these players to play. We want them to work. We want to get our money's worth. You play them in a system that fits both of them, and that they can play the positions they want to play. Now, secondly, 4-3-3 is probably one of the most. Oh, it's the new 4-4-2. Let's just get it right. It is the new 4-4-2. Most teams play 4-3-3. I'm pretty sure every single team in Germany, and I'm probably exaggerating. I am exaggerating. Let's get it right. But every single team in Germany plays 4-3-3.
Or a 4-2-3-1 variation.
It is like the most overused formation and found out formation. It's literally, there's no nuance to it really. It's been found out. It's been overused. It's not a new formation. It's not. I feel like a lot of people say let's switch to 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, and by a lot of people I mean just Kai, because he's really one of the few people I've heard really reiterate this. It's just formation you're familiar with. And information that you like because you've seen it used by Bayern so nicely, and you've seen all these teams like Liverpool put that under team sheet. But when you watch the games, they don't really play the formation that you think they play on the team sheet.
Thing is, as well, there's.
Go on.
But I get what you're saying, but to play devil's advocate, does the shape actually?
Yeah, you better play devil's advocate.
the shape doesn't really necessarily determine how you always play. So I get what you're saying. I do understand the element to what you're saying, but I can't really agree with the whole the 4-3-3 is found out, because I think there's so many ways of playing with a 4-3-3. You can be more defensive and pragmatic. You can play like Sarri. Sarri plays predominantly a 4-3-3.
Yeah,
he plays some of the.
You can play with double eights and an attacker. You can play with a single pivot and double eights. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. You know when you said about like they don't.
Chris, can I say one more thing quickly? Just sorry, Chris, because if you go on something else, I'll forget what I was going to say.
No, it's about the same thing, pretty much.
The wide players as well for example, under Frank Lampard, we used to play. Was it Ziyech, Werner, and Tammy for a while? We played that front three. Timo would sort of tuck in. So would Ziyech a little bit. And then the wing backs would operate. So even if we're talking about, we want to play this expensive football with out and out wingers, we'd have to buy new wingers, or we'd have to tuck the wingers in, because we don't have, apart from Pulisic and I guess Callum, but Callum needs a loan, to be fair. I think he could do a job on the left-hand side, but he's not proven in the Premier League on that side. Pulisic is injury-prone. Ziyech isn't a natural winger. We're going to have to spend 200 million on new wingers if we wanted to be effective.
And that's the other thing that frustrates me about bringing up this conversation about fucking 4-3-3. First of all, the person wanting to have this conversation, he complains about us not having wingers and needing new wingers all the fucking time. So if we don't have wingers, why do I want to play a formation that requires good wingers? It's contradictory in itself.
Yeah, we had.
Why?
I agree with that.
Wait, Will. Okay, so then at that point, okay, imagine we're not Chelsea. Any other team, you say, okay, let's buy wingers and let's build for the formation. We're Chelsea. Let's get it right. We sack our managers all the time, and every single time that we build for a project, it needs to be scrapped and redone because there's a new project now. So who knows? Maybe the next manager, and hopefully it doesn't happen. Maybe the next manager that comes in wants to play fucking 4-4-2. we don't know. So you can't really build for a formation that we don't know is gonna, be the formation that's gonna stick.
Could you argue though that you could say the same if we bought wing backs? Like if we bought Rafael Guerrero and I don't know.
Yeah, you could. But the thing is that we only needed one good wing back, and that was the right wing back because we had. I know people here, especially you guys in the chat, don't like Alonso. I don't like Alonso. I want Alonso out. I'd rather have had Emerson than Alonso. That's how much I don't like Alonso. Okay, but let's get it right. Alonso has actually been playing well and has been keeping his spot as a left wing back because that's what he is. He is a left wing back. He's not a left back. We saw how terrible he is as a left back. So if you play a 4-3-3, you're never going to see Alonso ever again. That's one upset person. And that's another thing you got to account for. The locker room. That's one person that's going to be bitching about not playing in the locker room because he's shit as a left back. He's not defensive in any means. But as a left wing back, on his day, which has been a lot recently, on his day, he actually plays decently. So we have a left wing back at least, and Chilwell is being transformed into a left wing back, kind of how Callum is being transformed into a right wing back right now as we speak. Reece isn't a natural right wing back, but he gets the job done. So we really needed a Hakimi there or an Adama Traore, whoever you would like. At that point, that's fine. The good thing about Adama is that even if we do scrap a wing back situation, or even Hakimi, even if we do scrap the wing back scenario, you can play them as right wingers, or you could even play them as a right back or whatever. They're flexible in that sense that they can play both positions. So doesn't necessarily mean that if we buy a wing back that it would be a waste because the formation or the project would be scrapped. They are versatile enough that they could be used in other positions. As for a winger though, like a pure solid winger, we don't. I'm of the mindset that if we do go to a 4-3-3, I don't think. Look, because of form, because of injuries, I don't think Pulisic is good enough right now. Callum needs to prove himself. Ziyech, people like to think that Ziyech was so good under 4-3-3. Ziyech was part of the team. He had 2 good games. Ziyech was part of the team when we went on our very, very bad run of games that got Lampard sacked. So I don't want to hear that Ziyech is good on a 4-3-3. He can be just as bad at the right wing as he can as an attacking forward right now. So Ziyech, not good enough. Kai Havertz, you're not going to play on the right wing.
Oh,
we've seen it happen. Again. It's terrible. Who else do we have as wingers that we could use?
God forbid we play Mount hugging the touchline as well as a left winger.
Again, you can't play Mount in the left wing. We saw how terrible it is. So what wingers do we really have other than really Callum that still needs to prove himself?
You can't play Timo there again hugging the touchline. Jesus.
No, you can't.
Way. And as well,
we would need to inject so much money into getting new wingers just to make this formation work.
You're also going to have to play someone relatively close to Lukaku. If that's Pulisic dropping in when he's playing, that can play off him. We saw how well he could play with a striker in Giroud, but you don't want to play Lukaku as a target man. He's better with someone close to him, someone that can play off him. He can hold up the ball. Combinations as well that can make space for him. You don't want to be doing what happened at United and just having 2 creative wingers and Pogba. We're not going to have Pogba, but you get one in a player like Pogba just creating and just lobbing balls into him.
And I'm saying what you guys are saying in the chat. You guys are essentially agreeing with me. Like I see, like Havertz plays best as a striker false night. Like I just told you why 4-3-3 wouldn't work. We don't have wingers to make it work. Like if Ziyech has stepped up, which he has in preseason, not this season so far, then I would make the argument that, yeah, we have a formation here that could work. Callum, you could probably put Callum in the right wing. You could probably put, Pulisic in left wing, but when Pulisic is gone, you're going to put Timo in the left wing. We don't have wingers.
Honestly, I think there's only one part of the pitch or 2 parts of the pitch that I think benefit from a 4-3-3. I think it's some of the midfielders. I think Mount, Ruben and Kovacic. Mount especially will benefit from playing as a left 8. And I think the fullbacks, I think Chilwell and Reece James. I think that is the only position which out and out benefits from
Thiago Silva too. It doesn't really benefit him, but he can play that very
But
four in the back.
You see, thing is though, the 3-4-3 is meant to be. The way we play is meant to be quite expansive and it's meant to be good football. It's just against City, I think, and people don't look past the last game. If you watch the Arsenal game, the Arsenal game is we play very good football, especially in that first half. I think also, I've got to say, I think under Thomas Tuchel, the way we've set up our shape set up, I think Christensen and Rudiger have improved even more on the ball and in certain situations, because if you see how we play, especially when it's Rudiger, Silva, and Christensen and Rudiger will fall into the space of almost like a natural defensive fullback, and they help distribute the ball, which then they pile up on one side. We've got Kovacic and Jorginho to recycle the ball on one side. Then their players come over, do a bit of combination play. Then we expose the space in behind with the wing backs. So I think it's actually helped our team develop.
That's what I mean. That was my one of my biggest argument is that the other thing too about the 3-4-3 that we've seen is that we've seen massive players that had huge question marks over their head just become world class overnight. Christensen, for example. And I know this is another argument that a lot of you Christensen haters have, which is, oh, he could do it at 3 in the back, but can he do it at 4 in the back or with 4 in the back? Okay, assuming he can't, you saw how good he is at 3 in the back. Why wouldn't you want to play to that strength? Same thing with Rudiger. Rudiger had huge question marks under Lampard's reign. And then when Tuchel came in, look at how freaking good he's become. So if he's playing good at 3 in the back and maybe he doesn't play as well in the 2 in the back, why would you want to not play to that strength? I don't get it, people. I don't get it. You could if we did play 4 in the back, my pairing would be Rudiger and Thiago Silva because I trust them. But there have been a lot of question marks about Rudiger when we were playing the 4 in the back formation. So
he has played well at forward back too, though. I've seen him play well.
And I agree. I think he can do the job. I think he can do the job. But the thing is, then we've seen how good Aspie can be, and how just crucial he was during that Champions League game. And I know it's a one-off game, but you saw how there's a reason we call him Mr. Consistency.
Oh yeah.
He can be consistent. He's very consistent. And when you have a defender that's that consistent and you play a formation where you're not going to have him in a center back pairing. I mean, you could. I don't think it's wise. I don't think he would be good in a pairing with Silva or Rudiger. And he can't play right back anymore. He probably could, but he would just he'd struggle.
I do want to get. I do really want to get your insight, Chris, as well, because I know you had to go somewhere for a bit, and I sort of did cut you off. But I just want to say one more thing as well. If let's say Rudiger leaves, I think Rudiger's leaving. I've come to terms with it now. I've just come to terms with that.
I'm nervous, but there's a chance if these rumors that 400K salary is true, I don't blame him for doing that. Yeah. I don't.
And also with Silva, I know that he could extend his contract, but he won't be able to play as many games next year. And
I mean, we said this this year. We'll play that one by ear, you know.
True, but also, you look at if we change the shape. I feel like in the shape that we have now, I feel like it's easier to find a profiled centre back for it. Because Christensen is the future of this defence. He is still relatively.
Yeah, let's get that right.
The club rate him really highly. They wanted to sign him to a new deal from even last year when he wasn't in the best form. That makes it a hell of a lot harder to pick out.
You know what also makes it harder about the 4-3-3, Will, that really would bother me is where does Jorginho play in all this? Because we've seen how Jorginho went from
in the middle of the DM.
Literally in January, I'll be honest, I thought we needed to sell Jorginho. I really did. I didn't see a place for him in this 4-3-3 formation we're playing under Frank. He didn't look good. He didn't look convincing.
The first season, Lampard
looked better.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't paying attention too much then. I'm just basing this off of what I saw. He's not really an 8. You could play him as an 8, but he's not really an 8. That's not where you. This is the thing. When you have a team, it is important to play to these players' strengths, and playing to Jorginho's strengths would be playing him at a Regista role in the DM. As a single pivot DM, maybe I think we've seen there was always that debate that you put pressure on him, he gets overrun, and we saw how that kind of happened against Man City.
I think though, Chris, I will get on to you. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I will. Say,
my point's gone. I think at this point.
Oh, sorry, Chris. I am. I really am.
Sorry.
Way back. I could go back to it if you want, but
with I wouldn't really compare it to even a 4-3-3 under Lampard because Kante's not going to be the 6. Kante will be an 8. alongside Jorginho, a bit of protection. Then we'll play Mount, who can also do the dirty work as
He
well.
was our best 6, though, unfortunately.
What Kante?
Out of 4-3-3, he was our best 6.
Yeah, but
it's not his best
Lampard
position.
shoehorned Kante in because it's Kante. Let's be real. If
Yeah, no, that's true.
we saw Kante under Sarri. He was good when he played under Sarri. He got injured, so he fell off a little bit in stages, but he was still good. And I think if we play, I think in a 4-3-3, and I hate to say this, kind of 4-3-3, I think it will probably be Mount, Jorginho. Well, I don't hate to say this actually because I love most of our players, but it probably would be Mount, Jorginho, Kante. And then where does Havertz get in this team? Does he get? He doesn't play over Lukaku.
A lot of players get left out.
Yeah, I know. I'm not having Havertz at 8.
Havertz can't play on the right. He can't play on the right either.
He can't.
Oh,
I'd rather have on the 8 side. I think Ruben's a better rate. I think Mount's a better rate. I think Kovacic is a better rate. As a striker, Lukaku's definitely better. Can even argue Timo's not really an out and number 9.
The only back four actually, I was going to say, the only back four. The only back four that I can see what can fit a bunch of our players is the 4-2-2 formation there. And Tuchel has actually looked at it, I think, as well with Chelsea. You can have Jorginho, you can have Kovacic or Kante, you can have them 3 mixing with each other DM, and then you can have Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, or even another winger like Pulisic. You can have all those players rotational in the 2 things, and then you can have Lukaku or Timo or even Kai Havertz can go and strike as well. That I think that's the only back four I can actually see going with. I don't know why. Just that's the only back four I can see with our squad we have.
Honestly, Chris, I agree with you as well. But if we switch to a 4 next season, I think we will buy Declan Rice for certain games. I think we will buy Declan Rice. I think, and do you know what?
I don't disagree with that.
If we buy Declan Rice for 50 million, I'm not complaining. I like Declan Rice, to be fair.
50
He's
or
having
50
a good season so far.
Left is good.
Yeah, he's been West Ham's best player apart from Antonio, I think. Maybe Ben Rama.
Yeah, Ben Rama's been pretty good actually as well.
Yeah.
He was
I think good as a squad really actually.
He's made here's a stat. Declan Rice has made the most progressive passes into the final third of an opposition team. He's done it the most.
Yeah, but this isn't Declan Rice propaganda. But I 100% agree with you. That's the thing too. This team does lack a proper DM. We don't have one. We don't have one. Jorginho's a regista.
Yeah.
Kante's a box-to-box midfielder.
Gilmore as well coming back. He's more of a box-to-box, I think. I honestly think.
So we would need a DM. Are you people opening your eyes and starting to see how much money we would need to put and how many different players we need just to make a functional and actual good 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, I agree. Because we need new wingers probably. Because if Pulisic gets injured,
you know what I would love,
Kai,
if you're watching this in the future, I can't wait for you to watch this and then tell me we still need a 4-3-3.
Do you know what though? As well, in a 4-2-3-1, I don't like the 4-2-3-1. I think it really.
I love that formation, yeah, but it doesn't feel like that
formation.
I hate it with this team.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work with this team.
I don't know. I just don't. I think Kante is best suited to a 4-3-3 as that right 8. I think in a 4-2-3-1, I think our most stable pivot in a 4-2-3-1 is Jovicic, Jorginho and Kovacic. We saw that under Lampard. They were so good in that 4-2-3-1.
Kante in the double 6 is really good though as well.
He is good, but I think
even with Matic as well though.
Yeah, that's true. But I think him at his best is in. But him at his best is in a 4-3-3.
It improved him as a ball playing. Well, I don't know, call him ball playing. It just makes no sense to call him Kante that. But he can actually pass and dribble. It improved him playing that player.
Yeah, he's actually a bit underrated on the ball. I think I've underrated him a lot on the ball in the last.
Nah, the guy's improved, and you can see it the last few years, especially now as well. Even with Real Madrid as well. Yeah, was it Real Madrid, wasn't it? Where he's actually playing pretty well on the ball and stuff. I think it's Real Madrid, anyway. Yeah.
Do you know what, Chris? Me thinking Kante was done is my worst take I think ever.
I remember you saying that.
But
it's just because the injuries mainly with you though.
Guys, I'll admit when I'm wrong though. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and it helps us, I'm fucking happy. I'm happy Kante is still a world-class player. And he's still one of the best midfielders, if not the best in the Premier League. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Because it's helping
I'm waiting
us.
for Alonso to prove me wrong. I want Alonso to prove me wrong.
Chris, there's more chance of me winning the lottery. I'm sorry, Jam. I've apologized. I'm sorry. It was reactionary. It's very reactionary. I'm sorry, Jam. I'm sorry. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry, Jam. I said it.
You keep saying sorry.
Yeah,
Are you
'cause I am.
broken?
I am. Okay.
For God's sake.
Anyway, I never called him a. Wait a minute though. I always thought he was still top class and a world class ball winner. I just didn't think he was at his best anymore. So, anyway, he is at his best. He's still one of the best midfielders, if not the best in the league. Let's go on to another topic now because this is pretty humiliating. Yeah, Chris, I want you to give your insight on the negatives of a 3-4-3 first.
I'm not really a negative guy, but like, I think it's hard to say because we've actually done really. I thought we think we actually done really well in the back three, like with Tuchel. We haven't had many like howlers. We had against maybe West Brom and like or maybe Man City with the three at the back with 3 centimeters. Only because I thought I don't know what to really think it was really so bad because the 2 DMs are good. The wing backs, you know what? It's affected Reece James. I thought, yeah, like at wing back, Reece James is not as good as that. Like he's better as a right back, but I can't really think of much negative about it. Like it's not broken. Can you guys really think much negative about it? Like it's actually just been really well for us, and I like it.
Listen,
what about you, Marshall? I don't know if there's actually much negative about it.
First of all, how many of you guys? 24 of you watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Help us out.
Join our Discord.
It does help the YouTube grow. It does help this channel grow. And it'll help us get more of these debates in, make it more interesting and more of you on this channel when we do call-ins. Also, join the Discord. It's in the description below.
In a little
Wait,
bit.
I got one thing it's bad for maybe.
Chris. Go on, Chris.
Our style play doesn't look as pretty for people, you know. It doesn't look as creative, you know. Our attacker tens or whatever you want to call it. It's not as good, maybe, but like that's the only thing I can think of really. Like the formation is very effective, very. So I can't think of too much negative about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the few things I can think of that is a detriment about 3-4-3 is that, and this is a valid argument. It is less attacking. I know I say we don't struggle to create opportunities. I know we're really good attacking either way, but if we were to switch to a 4-3-3 with proper players, of course, and a proper team and a proper coach, we would be a more attacking side. I do agree with that. We would definitely be more attacking side because you take away that extra player in the defense and you put it to the offense, and we would see more of an attack, oriented team. But again, unfortunately, I feel like having the defense we have and 2 in the back pairing, I don't know. I think our midfield would struggle, and I think that we would just concede more goals than we are currently right now. And although we can be attacking football like Lampard, we'll probably still struggle to win games. We'd have to outscore opponents like fucking Liverpool right now.
Plus, we don't have the time to adapt to a whole different way of attacking. We don't have the time right now. Unless we want to do what I originally thought at the start of the season, we could build this year and challenge next year. But people don't think that's going to happen. So how are we going to win the league magically while changing the whole way we set up? It's not going to work. It's not going to work just like that.
Not at all.
It'll take time, and we'll have to be patient. And does Tuchel have time? No. We saw what happened with other managers. Sacked.
Every manager, pretty much.
Every manager.
Yeah.
They don't get time.
How many bad games? Like five bad games?
Tuchel
it's
is
not even just Lampard, even Conte.
Yeah. Well,
Tuchel's
I'm sorry.
potentially the only manager in Chelsea history that's going to have an opportunity to build a project. If he keeps up this form, like, winning games, only losing to like top teams like Man City, or I guess you could throw Liverpool in there. Yeah, the one-off game.
I like this comment because I also think I agree.
We don't struggle to create chances.
No,
but we don't.
But Marshall,
okay, we'll go.
This is what I was going to say. I don't think it's down to the way we play. I think it's down to the personnel and the experience. Yeah. I think there's so many times where it's that we have a 3-on-3. It's Lukaku, Havertz, Mount, and Lukaku's free, and Havertz and Mount just overthink it and make the wrong decision. If that's a more experienced player, maybe in that position, maybe they pass it to Lukaku and he scores. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the other thing too. Like, people keep saying, that's the one argument I always hear. This is the one argument that like always jumps around in Kai's head when he brings this up, which is we struggle to create chances. I disagree. When you look at our Champions League run, our team had the highest XG of any team in that Champions League. And you could fact check me on that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm like 99% sure I'm not. That Real Madrid game. First of all, it was against Real Madrid. Everyone here respects Real Madrid. Real Madrid is a very, very fucking good team. We had an XG of over 3 in that game, in this formation, 3-4-3 against what was arguably the best midfield in Europe. So again, like, we don't struggle to create chances. Last year, everyone was complaining that we struggled to put away our chances. I never heard anyone last season complain that we can't make enough chances. We're a defensive ball. Like, people saying this sound like our rivals. The one that say low block and all this shit. We don't play low block. We don't play defensive ball. We're very attacking.
Marshall, can I add something?
What do you mean? Hold on. Can you pull up this comment? Marshall, we played on the counter. When we dominate games, we struggle. Before Lukaku, when have we even had a counterattack? We don't have a counter until we got Lukaku. We haven't had a counterattack, and I've said this multiple times in previous streams that we don't have counterattack football anymore.
The only one
we used to be like that with Jose, but we're not like that right now.
The only one I can remember is against Atletico at home. To be fair, we did play a little bit on the counter at times against Real Madrid. To be fair. That's cool. It's cool. But
can I add something with that as well? I was going to say to Marshall, we do play attacking. Like, if you see even our centre, like, we don't play low block. We don't just sit back. Our two centre backs, like left or right, they push up a lot of times. They do. Rudiger tries to add like.
For fuck's sake!
Yes, exactly. We literally have Rudiger.
How do you play counter-attack football with a high line?
We don't add. If you even look at Brighton, they play back five, don't they? And people say, "Oh, they play attacking football." So it just makes no sense to me that as well. Like, we do. We're not
attacking football in Europe with a 3 at the back. It doesn't matter about formation.
You know who was counter-attack football? Conte's back 3. That was more counter-attack football. Yeah, that was very counter-attack football.
And do you know what, Chris?
It worked out.
Rachel, big up to Rachel. She comes on the channel every now and then for the rival show, which should be returning next week. So stay tuned for that. But we've got Rachel pointed out perfectly on Twitter. There was a mid-block in defence, and people were saying this is terror football when we weren't even in a low block. People just think being in a defensive shape is a low block. How?
That's what I mean. Like, and I think the overall theme that if anyone comes out with anything in this debate is that, and Pep says this best, right? The numbers don't matter. They don't. Just because you see a formation on a team sheet doesn't mean that that's the formation that we play. Doesn't mean that it's a defensive formation. Doesn't mean that it's an offensive formation. It doesn't mean shit. Disregard the team sheet and what formation it says, and pay closer attention to how the players are positioned in game, attacking, while they're defending. Formation constantly fluctuates and it constantly changes. Fucking Pep against us. And this, I'm addressing a very early, like when we started the stream, comment saying that if Tuchel plays defensive against Juventus. First of all, dumbass, we weren't trying to play defensive. We were being pushed
Pin back.
a lot
Oh,
by
yeah,
Pep
yeah.
and Man City. At times, you had Jesus, De Bruyne, Foden, and what's his face? Grealish. 4 attackers pressing our 3 in the back, forcing our wingbacks to play defensively because they were pressing us constantly. We weren't trying to play defensive counterattacking football with Pep. It's actually the other way. If you remember the first 3 games, the first 3 games against Pep tried to get the ball over the top because we played such a high line. We don't play defensive football.
With as well against City, that was one of the best pressing performances I've ever seen in the Premier League.
And that too, like, give credit. Like, people need to
Masterclass from Pep.
when we get defeated by an actual decent team, I think as any fan base, they tend to put the blame on the players a lot and the team. But you also have to, like, be more open-minded than that, and also admit that sometimes when you lose, it's not just because of how you played, but it's also because of how the other team set up and played. And in this case, Man City, they outran us that game. Usually we're the team that outruns all the teams because of our formation and how aggressive it is and how much it relies on just constant pressing when we don't have the ball. But Man City came into that game with a statement. It meant a lot to them to win. So when you saw De Bruyne come off and get slapped, fucking Pep slapped him because De Bruyne was about to pass the fuck out because of how much he ran. De Bruyne was knackered at the end of that game because my man was running like a motherfucker. I read Tuchel and I fucking said fuckle.
Yeah.
All right. You guys
Chris.
get it.
I was gonna say, Daniel, we're not talking about like just City's game. Like, we're just talking about 3 at the back in general. We know Tuchel messed up that game.
Yeah.
We've already said, like, Tuchel's messed up. Even Tuchel said it. Like, like we all know, like, he should probably not start with a 3 midfield and 3 at the back as well. Like, we agree. It's not about that anyway.
Again, talking on the topic of Chelsea, Man City, when City are that good, you have to be perfect. We weren't perfect.
Yeah,
we weren't perfect, and that's just what happened. You can put the blame on Tuchel. It's the first time I think he's really fucked up for us, apart from maybe the FA Cup final. But even then, we were just flat on the attack in that game.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely insane. Pep. It's why Pep and Aguero. Of course, Aguero had amazing seasons under Pep. It's why him and Aguero though never really saw eye to eye. It's why they didn't really offer him a new contract as well. Aguero didn't want to do all the work that Pep wanted to do. Pep tried to make time into it. Sane as well. He got injured and then he didn't. Pep preferred other options and thought they were better at. Like, there's a reason why Bernardo Silva is still there at the club and he's still starting. Because he does everything. He's a workhorse. He's excellent.
The motherfucker played as a fucking DM.
He dropped pretty deep at times. Yeah. He was
helping out Rodri at times.
He is. If he played consistently for City, like week in week out, he'd be a world class player. He's unbelievable. Do you know what?
He's pretty much just there, though. I think.
If we could, that's what I mean, Chris. He doesn't play.
He's just behind. I think.
He doesn't play enough to be known as a world class player. But if he came to us, he'd be known as a world class player within a year. He's unbelievable. He can do everything. But
I hope. You know what I'm hoping? Yeah. I hope like Mason Mount can just do what he does as well. Like, because I think him and Mason Mount, like, in a way, a little bit similar. Like, they just play anywhere. Like, workhorse around the pitch and all that. Like, but I think Bernardo Silva is obviously more creative than him.
Mount reminds me of Steven Gerrard in a way, like stylistically.
Mount.
Yeah. I don't see him as a Frank Lampard, like a lot of people say. I see him more of a Gerrard.
I don't see him as a Gerrard either. Actually, I can't see that because Gerrard, I don't know, he's a very creative attacker.
I'm saying Gerrard, of course, Gerrard is better than Mount. I'm not gonna. Let's not even get into that.
But I just think stylistically, I'm just kidding.
That's just. Sometimes I see I don't know. No. Okay, I mean, as in like the off the ball aspects, he's pretty good at a
You
lot
dug
of
yourself in
things.
the hole now.
At least you're not saying Paul Scholes.
Well, he's nothing like Paul Scholes,
Remember that?
stylistically and No, see, this is what I mean. You take things out of context.
You gotta get clip John. I won't say Johnny.
I'm not saying he's better than
'Cause I said
Gerrard.
Paul Scholes.
I'm not saying he's better than Gerrard. I'm not saying he's at the level of Gerrard. I'm saying stylistically. Stylistically, I'm trying to think of a really good and shit player. Stylistically, I'm trying to think. Name a shit player. Name a shit ball playing centre back.
Wait, what?
Name a shit ball playing centre back in world football.
Zuma. I'm just sorry, Zuma.
He's not. No, Chris. I mean, a specialist on the ball, but it's still shit.
I thought you said. Oh, I don't know. You're the one who.
I
don't know.
Chris.
You're
I've
that
done
guy.
myself into a hole.
Where are you trying to say? Are you trying to say Mountain's better than Pele?
Yes, let's just say yes.
In all fairness, Dan Fletcher was actually good, so that's I remember. So
he was all right. I mean,
no, he was good. I rated him when he was back then.
Okay. I mean, I think Mount and Gerrard. I see similar traits off the ball. Gerrard, how he works hard, how he's relatively strong in a tackle. He tries things. Loves their club. It's the intangibles, right? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said Gerrard because every Chelsea fan seems to hate Gerrard. I'm not talking shit. It's praise. It's high praise. It's high praise to compare him to Steven Gerrard. It is high praise.
Fucking shit.
Gerrard was a fucking brilliant player. Don't you dare see one London. I'm not having that. Mount is better than Oscar.
He probably will be, but Oscar's a very talented boy when he started. Oscar's a very talented player as well. Don't forget.
Mount,
yeah, in China.
Mount's all right in the tackle.
He's clear as Stevie G anyway.
Okay. But
where have you took us, Will?
What I meant to say was Mount is more like Gerrard than Lampard. That's what I was meant to say. That's what I was meant to say.
Alright, we should move along, you know.
No. Yeah.
You dig yourself in the hole.
Where are we moving with this, Will?
Will's just.
My blood pressure's gone up, Chris.
He's pardon?
I'm going to start with the conclusion to what we were. Thank you, Daniel. I agree with you. Let's go on to the original overall conclusion. I'll go first because I'm just going to be short and snappy. I want to keep the gem you are trolling, and you say I'm talking shit. But
gem.
I think we should keep the 3-4-3. I don't think the shape is an issue. We can be flexible in games. We can tweak it at different situations. We do that anyway. Yep. I think it makes it easier for us in the market to pinpoint where we're going to strengthen, what profiles we need. I just think we need a bit more depth in personnel in some areas. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Chris, I have no. I have I have no issue with back three. We won the league in a back three, a different style of back three. It was definitely a more counter attack style of football, but we won in a back three. It's just a hard formation to break. And Tuchel, you know what, he promised teams do not want to face us, and teams still want to face us for a reason. And we do get goals. We've been beating teams 3-0 this season, 3 times, 3-0. So we're getting goals, we're keeping clean sheets, we're looking solid. I don't want to change it, so I'm just getting to that.
Again, this is a unanimous decision here between the panel. 3-4-3. Just stay with it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I can't emphasize that enough. We've already gone over why switching the formation would be such a detriment because we lack the proper players to have a proper 3-4-3. It's or 4-3-3 rather. We just don't have it. We can't sustain it. And on top of that, I'll say this. I think it'll be time for a formation change if come December we have a losing record. If we have a losing record come December, before the January transfer window opens up, then I say maybe we should consider changing the formation to not 3 in the back.
I'm worried,
but I doubt that's going to happen.
Get that time to change it if he went on a bad run. But we're gonna do we're going to do call-ins now. But before we do that, I'm going to agree with Daniel. Oscar was a goal of the season merchant. Scored one amazing goal versus QPR.
You gotta call him a goal of the season merchant. Come on.
Yep.
Show respect to it.
Great performance against Juventus. Cool. A nice goal versus Stoke and Palace and QPR. Cool.
He had many great performances when he's young.
Do you know what, Chris? As you've got such a nice, polite voice, I'll just allow it. I'm just going to stop. But Marshall, can you please put the? Can you please put the link in the chat? I'm guessing Gem's going to come on. I'm predicting Gem to come on and say I'm talking shit or something.
Guys, link is in the chat for you. Go ahead and click that if you want to join the panel. And before you do, make sure if you haven't already, for fuck's sake, if you want to keep the 343, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that like button. If you watch this in the future, tell us why us in the panel are right and Kai is wrong.
Or say why we're wrong.
Or tell us why we're wrong. I would love to see arguments for the 433 that I actually agree with.
Okay, see you on London.
Wait, I don't know what Gem's on about.
He's talking about Oscar. I did.
What? Gem doesn't rate Oscar? I rate it.
He did.
Well, why am I like a 16-year-old?
He's not talking about you. He's talking about people in the chat, Chris.
You get mad at me.
Mount is better. Mount is better than Oscar. Oscar, I go over the top on him because we sold Massa, and I can't let that down. But we do have our first caller. So welcome if you're here.
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's Brazzy. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's going on, Brazzy?
Nah, I have to disagree with you guys. I think the formation is failing.
Why?
People were talking about we switch to a 3-4-3. If we switch to a 3-4-3, we'd win the game. There's a reason we're playing the 3-5-2. Aston Villa, first half didn't work. Changed to a 3-5-2, we won the game, right? We were 1-0 up, but we weren't creating anything. Zenit,
which Aston Villa game? The League Cup or the Premier League? Because we didn't change to 3-5-2 in the league.
We changed to
No, we put Jorginho on forwards. Wait. Didn't we put Jorginho on for Sal in that game?
Listen, a 3-1-4-2 is a 3-5-2. It's the same thing. It's not. There's no difference. What did Tuchel do against Tottenham when it was failing against Tottenham? The 3-4-3. The first half. He put on Kante with 3 midfielders. He pushed the wing backs very high. That is a 3-5-2. It's the same thing. It's a 3-1-4-2. It's the same formation. It's a 3-5-2. Look at the Zenit game. What did we create? If we're going to play low blocks every season and we made Zenit and we created nothing, Lukaku had to bail us out at the end. And even if you check, in terms of defensively, we haven't been great as well. Because if you look at the Zenit, they created more. They had a higher XG than us. They created more quality chances than us. And they played football on the ground. They didn't do long ball or anything. They were making like 3 passes and then in our defensive third.
So wait, what's the formation you like the best? What formation do you think is best for Chelsea? I mean,
I think maybe if you look at Havertz and the Werners and the Ziyech and the Pulisic and the Chos, maybe a 4-4-2. But then where does Mount play?
Yeah, 4-4-2. So where does Mount? So Kai Havertz plays what, striker? I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, Kai Havertz plays as one. He competes with Werner for one of the strikers. So Mount can play as on the wide midfielders, as a wide midfielder if need be, or in the 6. Yeah,
I don't know about that, Brazzy.
How the managers wants to play, but because even if you look at the underlying stats, I saw a stat that said in the past 5 seasons, I think the team with the lowest XG conceded, lowest XG against, has won the league. Chelsea are 6th for XG conceded. Last season, when we won the Champions League, we were first. We were better than Man City.
Last season, we created a lot of chances, didn't we, in that 3-4-3, right?
We created a lot of chances. Because you know what a chance created is? Any pass that leads to a shot anywhere on the pitch. So when Mason Mount is taking 10 shots outside the box, that is a chance created.
But we also took a lot of shots in the box of Timo Werner.
The question is, how many quality chances did create? What was our
We created quite a few. Timo Werner had a lot of good chances, and sadly he missed.
Hold on, but that's the thing. Like this is the thing
Timo
that I
Werner
always argue with people about. Hold on, Brazzy, hold on. This is the thing that I always have an argument with people who keep putting down Ziyech all the time, is the fact that we create plenty of chances. Unfortunately, you can't say they're clear chances created because our attackers, Mount, Werner is a huge part of this, and Havertz sometimes don't make the best of those chances. I saw it all the time with Ziyech, where Ziyech just gives you a cut through the defense, through ball, and then instead of cutting inside to make an attack, Werner goes to the wing, to the corner. It's like we're very wasteful with the chances that we do get. So yeah, you can say that, okay, maybe we don't make clear-cut chances, but that's because the people who are in charge of making those clear-cut chances don't make the most of those chances.
Okay,
so
but let me ask you.
That's very much a
valid argument. Here trolling.
So you're saying we should go buy Kylian Mbappe and Neymar and Kevin De Bruyne just so we can have the best decision makers in the league? Look at Chelsea, right? We have an attack with how many?
I mean, that's what you would need to do if you want to go to another 4 in the back formation.
Defense. If you're playing a 4-4-2, you don't have to buy it. Man City don't play a 4-3-3. They play a 4-4-2 anyway. The team Lille played a 4-4-2 when they won the league. You don't have to play a 4-3 or 4-2-3-1. You don't have to play a back 4 is not only a 4-3-3. And the myth that
if I'm being honest with you,
that's a myth. He can play in a 4. He played under Sarri in a 4-3-3. What do you think Pep was going to play a 3-5-2 when he bought Jorginho? You think Pep was going to play a 3-5-2 when he bought Jorginho? If he had bought Jorginho, there was no way.
Listen, I ain't the trust for.
That's what I say. I think people think the job of the manager is just
Arsenal fan / Chelsea fan.
What are you saying, Chris?
Yeah, the job of the manager. Enjoying yourself after that win.
Yeah, listen,
that's what Tuchel cost us that game.
Let Brazzy land, and then we'll go on Samuel.
That's what Daniel is saying. Tuchel cost us that game. It has nothing to do with the players. He was too defensive. He played with a flat 5. He didn't push the wing backs high. Not one time, like he did at the Etihad when we were losing the first game. Rewatch the match. It's available on the We played a flat 5. It means the wing back aren't pushing high.
But I get it. It was Tuchel's fault. But you can't just say 100% him.
Look at the match against Man City at the Etihad. We were failing in the first half. They were better than us. You know what Tuchel did? He pushed the wing backs very high in build-up play, so that he can because if you don't push up your wing back side, the wingers of the other team and the fullbacks are gonna push high, and they're gonna keep forcing you to stay back. So in order to force them back, you have to push your wing back side. That's what managers do. And Tuchel played a flat 5 and a flat 3. That's why the gap between. That's why Lukaku and Werner look so.
But we don't always play a flat 5 though. We don't always do that. That's not like I always think like against City. In the City game we was just pinned in because City was attacking us like mad. I just want to say this and we'll move on to Samuel.
My argument for why it seems that we played a fat and a flat 5 and a 3 is because the press that Man City had was a 4-4-2 press. They had 4 forwards pressing our defense. That I'm sorry, but you're not gonna keep 3 in the back when it's 3 against 4. You have to have the wing back stay back.
So if City play the same press, we're gonna play the same way. You know how good Bayern Munich are at pressing. So when we play Bayern Munich, so we should just accept defeat. And we're just gonna play a flat 5-5-2
instead of 3-4-3. Once we play 3-4-3,
getting your boxing gloves out.
Razzie, once we play 3-4-3, he's ready to fight. Once he plays 3-4-3, we saw how that game opened up because there was more support.
No, the game opened up. They were 1-0 up. What do we do to teams? We score 1 and we sit back and we hit them on the break. That's what we do to every team. We did the same thing to Real Madrid. And that's look at what Man City do. What did Man City do against PSG?
Yeah.
They scored 1 early, long ball from Ederson, and then they set back. They hit PSG on the break. That's what they did. Pep has changed his way. He's not just going to keep going at you at 100 miles an hour for the whole 90 minutes. He doesn't do that no more, especially when it's a good side. What he does is, that's why he presses you, because he wants to score
Yeah.
the first goal early. I think there was a stat that said Pep's team always scores in the first, I think, 15 minutes or something like that. Every that's how they scored. So that
But
you
those are
come out,
intangible
because you're
stats.
gonna have to, because
Yeah.
you're gonna.
All right.
All
That's
right.
you're gonna
Yeah,
have,
Bra-
you're gonna have to
guys.
come out. They're gonna hit us on the break.
Brazzy.
We are more open.
I
Move to the next
disagree,
guest.
Brazzy, but I want to see what Samuel wants to say. Sammy, what are you saying, bro?
We say Marshall, bro. Listen, for this game, compared to the FA Cup and the Champions League final, I think this is Tuchel overthought this game. Like what Pep did in the Champions League final. I think he was too concerned about Man City. Obviously, you should have some concern, but I think the system we changed up too much, right? I know not all of it was on Tuchel's fault. Okay, Brazil, not all of it's on Tuchel's fault. He put a system out there, and some of the players didn't deliver on Saturday. You know, I look at one. You know, he wasn't that day. Lukaku, some periods in the second half. As for the whole Chelsea team, when you switched to a back three and stopped playing so negative in the back five, you know, there was something there. You were dominating the game in the final 20 minutes, and that was the only thing that was lacking in the first half. You know, it was a lackluster first half performance from Chelsea. But I don't get why some Chelsea fans are just panicking and going into meltdown. Right, you're like 6 or 7 games in. All right, you're playing one of the best teams in the country, or one of the best Premier League teams of all time, with some of the best players in the world. And listen,
Yeah.
Reece James went down with injury early in the game.
Yeah.
So obviously that had some hindrance to the game plan because he was crucial in the previous games. So I don't get
I
the panic.
started play like actually got affected like when Reese went off actually. If you was watching the game, like we
Jack
was
Grealish
affected.
had more freedom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like exactly, there's a lot of factors going into this, and Chelsea fans continue to go into Milan. Listen, there's 37 more games, or no, 31 more games left. My bad. So I don't get the panic. Listen, I think going by the final 20 minutes, listen, there's good signs there. You know, Tuchel can still adapt. So don't go after Tuchel because some of the players on that picture they didn't execute the game plan well.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No, that's a
Redneck
fair
Blue,
shout,
what-
honestly.
What are you
Hassan,
saying,
the link
bro?
is dropped.
Yeah, I'll drop it again.
Guys, we're going to be wrapping up though very soon, so we're just going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
everyone else's thoughts one more time, and
Yeah.
we're going to wrap up. So, yeah, Daniel, welcome to the stream.
What's good, boys? Can you
Wait,
guys
we
hear me?
forgot about Ragnar.
Well, let's get Redneck first, and then we'll get Daniel.
Come on,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
waiting.
sorry.
He's been waiting.
I'm seeing Daniel go at it with
Sorry,
Jem in
sorry.
the chat, and I just can't read it all.
No,
right
no,
now.
I just came for
So
one
I'm
thing only,
curious.
just to say Mason Mount is clear of the silky German. I'll catch you guys later, all right?
Oh my god! All right,
You got-
Redneck Blue, what you saying, bro?
I'll say I'll challenge that Mount Warner thing. Anyway, the previous guy, I don't know what kind of formation he's looking at because that's not flat five at the back. If he'd been watching Chelsea, even with Mount, we played 3 at the top, but Mount was dropping in the midfield, so they were already making it 5-3-5-2 like originally. The problem was last game the country wasn't in form. That's the only problem of what we had that did not fit a narrative to play 3-5-2 the way we usually play. What problem was the only country we had 3 massive players that are actually pivotal players that are actually not present. What at the game? I consider Kante wasn't present at the game. He was like there, but he's not there. Kante was not there. Jorginho was not there, and James was the one of the pivot people that actually played better at in the formation. We would not miss Mount that much if James was still on the field. But since James was out, that looked like Mount was actually really, really important, and we missed him. I agree. Mount was pivotal player for Chelsea. It's just not informed this season, but he's important to us. And people
100%.
saying that. I agree. He's not the same player that he was last season. I'll give him stick like anybody else. You think if I won't give stick to Conte, the World Cup Conte, the best midfielder, defensive mid in the world, I will give him a stick. He was horrible. He was horrible at the game. I don't know if it's true that he was physically ill or just protected by coach, so the crush of the Chelsea fans will not turn on him. It's one of those two. Jorginho is not strong enough. We know that because that's the only last half of a season, he was actually a decent player. Before that, it's Jorginho. It depends which way the wind is blown. If it's right, he follows on the right. But Kovacic was improving Jorginho's game. Let's not forget that. Kovacic is the only one that actually improved Jorginho's game. If you're
Kovacic
gonna
is
put
not there at Euros. He did not play with Jorginho. He was not. Kovacic. Jorginho is one of the best midfielders in the world. That's the thing people don't understand. That's what I'm saying.
He's a very good footballer.
The job of the manager is not just to pick starting 11s. That's why Lampard failed. You could have given him Neymar, Mbappe. Everyone was coaching is a big part of the game, and Chelsea are not playing one.
Here's the difference between the coach and the manager. Please tell me what's the difference between coach and the manager.
Because a manager, Tuchel is both. He's both a manager and a coach. But the tactics are a very important part of the game. You don't just pick that. You say, "Oh, if you had a physical presence, we would win the game." Pep once bossed the Prem with Bernardo Silva and David Silva in midfield. Where's the physicality? There is no physicality. But he won the league with 98 points.
They had Fernandinho
one of the
best midfield.
But where are the two other midfield physical? And Fernandinho is not that fast as well. He's just quick with his brain. Or what does he do? Tactical fouls all the time. Why do you think he commits so many tactical fouls?
Who?
Why do you think he commits so many tactical fouls? He's not quick.
Who?
Yeah, you can say barge a man off, but really, all is there for the passing. That's what he's. That's why.
Which player are you talking about?
That's what I'm. People say, "Oh, physicality." But Declan Rice, Kevin Phillips, Mason Mount are all physical players. That Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella. Where's the physicality there?
Wait, what?
What big guys?
I'm lost. I don't.
Wait, did I hear Kante's not physical?
That's my question. If Kante is not physical, Jorginho shouldn't be on the freaking soccer pitch at all. If
no one is saying Kante is not physical. I'm saying physicality means nothing. That's what I'm saying.
It means nothing in the game?
I wouldn't say it means nothing. I wouldn't say it means nothing.
That's cap.
Like,
why doesn't it mean anything?
Let me ask you. Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Who's physical?
Huh? No, but
that's why we play in the shady league.
You can make that point about other midfielders who are physical.
Yeah, but we never left Barcelona.
Yeah,
that's why we never left Barcelona because we're playing in shady league.
Go look at what the more physical.
No, but the thing is, wait a minute, Brazzy.
Go look at where the more physical team.
Wait a minute, Brazzy. Wait a minute. You've just named one of the best midfield trios ever. Yeah, not every trio is as. Wait a minute. Let me finish, please. Not every trio in football as a midfield three are as good as Iniesta, Busquets, and Xavi. They're technically amazing. So you can't just put one example of technically gifted.
I named you another one. Verratti, Jorginho, Barella. Who's physical?
Okay.
They're all just good on the ball.
Don't compare national team with clubs.
Yeah, you're totally physical. Kante's physical.
Bro, it doesn't matter.
Matic was physical. That's why midfielder. There's a bunch of physical midfielders, a bunch of non-physical midfielders. That's why it's part of the game. That's why I named the Man City. That's why I named the Man City midfield. Because Fernandinho, there's a reason Fernandinho commits a lot of tactical fouls. He's not the more. I know people think he looks strong, but it's all about how you play as a team. It's not about one individual player. Look, if you get Declan Rice, you're going to win the Champions League.
Let me ask you a question. Can Jorginho hold the ball? Hold on a second. Can Jorginho hold the ball when the player's on him? Can Jorginho get out of the
no
pressure?
Player can hold the ball. You know what Klopp once said this. He said not even the best number 10.
You got let Redneck finish his point.
I can't even finish the question. You already answered, so it's.
No, I know what you ask. You asking, can Jorginho play under pressure? He's one of the best players under pressure. You don't know what he's going to finish up with. There's something called a good press. When Pep Guardiola puts Foden on you and man marks you, and he has four other midfielders: Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus, and they're all present. I don't care how good you are. Even Busquets can lose the ball, and he's one of the most
by not pressing one player, by pressing the whole thing, by not pressing the whole team.
They're pressing the whole team, but they have a good press. That's what I'm saying.
What I meant by not pressing only Jorginho, by pressing the whole back line.
They're pressing the whole back line.
If you cannot reduce the pressure just from one player.
You know what Christensen said in the Chelsea interview today? He said when we looked up, there were no options. How are you going to pass the ball if there are no options?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's what I was saying. Tuchel isolated the team. with how he played, and he
There
never
was-
changed.
Oh my God.
He was
Jorginho-
fine with growing the game.
Jorginho versus Manchester City in the first half, his passing wasn't wayward. It wasn't. His accuracy was fine, but there was no way he could pass it forwards. He always
There's a reason
passed
for
it
there's
to
a
the
reason
right
for
next
that.
to him.
There's a
Yeah, I
reason
know
for
there's
that.
a reason for that. I know that's a reason for that. It was City's brilliance. He just
No,
That was
that's
City's
no,
press. It
you-
wasn't us.
you don't
That's
understand.
what
When
I'm
you play a
saying.
low block, when you play a low block, you isolate your attackers from your
But
defense.
we weren't
There is a
playing a low
gap.
block though, Brazzy.
We
That's
are
the
pl-
thing.
we
We
played-
weren't playing a low block. We were being pressed
Well-
so high up that we couldn't get out. We couldn't expand
Chelsea-
or play.
Are you acting like City not like champions of England or something? Like they've been champions of England and they've been dominating England for a while for a reason.
this
Yeah,
will make
good
things clear.
team.
I hope
Chelsea-
hopefully
that's
for you,
City-
Brazzy,
City's
this
press
makes things
was
clean.
aggressive in the
Wait, hold on,
Champions
Brazzy.
but
This
we
hopefully
pushed
makes
the
things
pitch.
clear.
And we never
When-
played a low block. We played a mid block.
But we
Yeah,
we
that's
we,
how we played.
we didn't play a low block. You want to know why? Because
Even
what happened was that Pep set. Wait,
Simeone
hold on.
said it.
Pep,
Simeone said it
Pep
about
played.
playing
Brazzy, hold on 1 second, brother. Pep played when he had the ball. He played, or when he was playing defensively, he played 4-4-2. What happened was that at multiple points during the game, it was 4 Man City attackers versus 3 of our defenders. And now I don't know if you can do basic math, but that outnumbers us. So what happens? What do you need to do to keep defensive? You need to bring the wingbacks back to support the 3 in the back. So
And to
we
make-
didn't have a choice.
And to make things worse, when we had the possession
go
and
watch how-
Aspilicueta had the chance to go forward,
Yeah.
he refused this to go forward.
That
He
too.
chose
Yeah,
to go
that's been a
back
bad
and
game.
Go watch-
put the
Go watch it.
pressure
That's what I'm
back
saying.
on
Go watch
on the
all our
defense.
games. There's Simeone said the best thing about Chelsea, there's always a passing option. Go watch us play. Go watch the
Yeah,
last.
that's because players like Mason Mount drop deep to give that support, but here and there.
Exactly.
Brother, you don't get dragged off at halftime if you're doing something right. It never happens. No player
But
ever.
the thing is, though, we did it.
What you can't pinpoint one performance of Mount and say he's not
What do you mean?
effective.
Where was he at Zenit?
Zenit?
Where
Okay,
was-
so a bad run of form. You can't.
We all know he's had a bad run.
He was never gonna play.
But Brazil, you gotta take context into it that he's been playing like he's been overplayed for the last couple of years.
Okay, guys.
acting like We're gonna
Brazzy,
prime Zidane.
with all due respect, we've been waffling on about this for a while. I want to get Abs' thoughts. Abs, what do you think of this whole formation, the shape, how we set up? Do you think it needs to be changed? Do you think we have the time to change it? Or would you prefer just keeping it?
You want to be honest, the whole thing about about the formation isn't really that deep. It's just the way that we use our players and how
Yeah.
actually play
Exactly.
placements and areas. I mean, it may be that once in a while we may have to go forward at the back just to try and sort some stuff out, but really and truly, it's not the end of the world going 3-4-3. We managed to get the best out of Willian, who, as we all know, was a scrub, and an aging Pedro in in a 3-4-3 system under Antonio Conte. So clearly it can work. And no disrespect to Willian, but the players who got in them positions are significantly better than he ever was. So for me, it's just a case of, especially with Lukaku coming in, because I think, what it is with Werner. Everyone criticizes Werner for his finishing and all that, but what people never gave him credit for, and the reason why I created so many chances was because this guy's build-up play in this team was second to absolutely none, especially from our forwards. He always helped link play, carry the ball, move it here and there.
And if you notice, right, Diaz did not let him go full sprint. Diaz had to keep him on lock that game, because if Werner goes full sprint, then Diaz is gonna get spun left and right. Like
Yeah,
they had to keep Werner quiet, because if you notice, all the games that we won, Werner was running rampant, even though he wasn't scoring. He was just stretching him wide, and City turned up, and they've learnt from their mistakes last season. And
That's not it.
They definitely did.
He did roles with us. He just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be a bit clever today and try to go over 3-5-2. When really what you should have done is just gone with the tried and tested method. Play your game, play the thing which you knew worked. If you really wanted to, then it
That's what I'm
may have
saying.
been.
I'm not gonna lie though, but can I say one quick thing? When that formation got announced and everything, and with the team, everybody's actually happy. I was happy because I
Yeah.
thought, you know, this might work.
Yeah.
And then
I thought
obviously
it was
we
gonna
saw
be
it,
good
and
too.
it's just like I saw
Yeah.
a lot of Chelsea fans actually happy, but then it obviously backfired, and everybody
Oh my
obviously
god, I
thought
need to
Yeah.
read the
it's
comments
terrible.
next time before I put them up. Jesus God, Daniel, you can't.
What?
Oh my god, you can't say that, man.
This
Come
But
on.
guy.
yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. I think the 3-4-3 would have been a good solution. I know people want to say that Mount was missing in that game, but if we're talking about Mount last season, I agree. But we're talking about Mount this season so far, I don't agree. I don't think Mount this season has been that great. He needs to get back into his form that he was last season. I think Kai Havertz would have done a job in that position. Like I know Kai Havertz's pressing isn't as good as Mount's, but he still does it, and he still would have done the dirty work. And we saw what happened when Kai Havertz came into the game, and we started playing 3-4-3. He was looking dangerous.
All right, we're
And
gonna go on
people like
to.
Daniel will disrespect Kai Havertz because he doesn't get the stat pad like Bruno. Kai Havertz is the best young player we've got in this team. Matt is a passion merchant. He's
Oh, come
literally
on.
substance with no sauce. Havertz is
Nah,
substance.
don't talk about
Don't ever
Mount.
disrespect Kai Havertz again.
Ooh.
All right,
I
we're
think
gonna
this
go on
might
to.
have to be another call-in debate show where
Yeah,
we
we'll
talk
do
about
that another
Havertz
time.
versus
We'll do
Mount.
that next week
Yeah.
or something. But
Oh,
That'll be
man.
interesting.
We got
Both have
Hassan.
not been that great this season.
I want to
Yeah,
get
we
Hassan's
move,
thoughts,
we
then we're
move.
going to wrap up. So, Hassan,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the whole debate?
Yeah, I mean the whole the first thing everyone said was formation. I was like, I found it weird. It's because literally, I think personally for me, I think both teams tactically set up to nullify each other. I personally believed in terms of the 3-5-2, we tactically set up to nullify City. But personally for me, it's a bit of both. It's between the management of Tuchel and picking the players and the players not turning up. It's a combination of both for me, which is why we lost the game. I don't believe it's solely the formation because there was a lot of misplaced passes and all of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, ever since the Champions League loss, I think City were looking to come back and I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like during that game, I feel like it was gonna be their game where they're gonna actually beat us. But overall, I don't know, man. It's how we bounce back from it, and the
For sure.
goal that they scored,
most
the
important
goal that
thing.
they scored. I'm not like in terms of overreacting the way like Klastref and all of these, because literally that goal was just a jammy goal, man.
It was a
I'm-
jammy goal.
Defensively, I think we're sorted. It's literally how we bounce back, and I feel like how we respond is probably against Juventus, and I won't make any more like criticism in terms of the football club because it's literally one game that we've lost. If it happens again and if it's the
And it's a
same as
goal by deflection.
yep.
Mm-hmm. Go by
All right, I
deflection.
gotta go beat some guys. So
All right,
I'll
take
see
care,
y'all
Yeah,
later.
Recluse.
and
Hey,
All
hope
right.
your
Yeah, man.
sparring goes well, man. Have a good one.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming
On that
man.
note, we are actually going to wrap up. But
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah.
everyone for coming on today. Thanks everyone for watching, commenting, just interacting, sharing, whatever way you want to interact, liking even. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Look at the links. A lot of great people down there. A lot of links to accounts. Make sure to follow Abs on Twitter as well. And haven't you got a YouTube channel starting soon, Abs?
Yeah, it's pending, bro.
Okay, cool. So make
Yeah,
sure to
it's
check him
it's
out.
called Abdullah Danger, man.
Oh, God.
Dead end shots.
All right. But yeah, go to the links for our Discord. We're on there most days, if not at least probably around 3 to 4 times a week. We'll do watch-alongs on their debates, just talking, having fun. So make sure to be with us over there. But I've been Will. We've had Chris. What do you want to say, Chris, before we wrap up? Anything you want to say?
Chelsea winning the league, you know.
Okay, thanks, Chris, for that amazing input. Marshall, anything you want to say about your own channel or music or anything?
Not quite, but I do want to add on to what Real Chris said with 3-4-3.
Yeah.
With 3-4-3. Okay, up the Chelsea. Good day, people. Have a good day tomorrow. I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing, whether that's job, college, school, whatever. And take care. Up the Chelsea, and see you guys next time.
Peace.